The man who made Indiana Jones The Dial of Destiny is back again, this time another joint venture with Lucasfilm. James Mangold says he's getting ready to take over Star Wars and take it back to the dawn of the Jedi. But the reason he's doing so just might shock you. The guy who wants to take over a galaxy far, far away wants to stray away from all the lore you've ever learned. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. As ever, it is a wonderful time when we have the pleasure of being joined with you. As we get ready to get started, click that like button, and we're going to show you what's happening at Lucasfilm that somehow, some way, makes all the stuff from the past go away for a moment as you once again scratch your head and say, how in the world did they come up with this stuff? James Mangold, the director of Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny, wants to set the entire course for Star Wars with a telling of exactly how the Jedi began and why? Well, because he does not want to be beholden to any story or lore that has ever come before. Click the like button. Here we go. I have no idea how Lorne is going to handle this at all, but we're going there. All right, this is from Movie Web. James Mangold reveals what will make his new Star Wars movie work. Well, that's a lot of fun. I can't wait to find out what the other 17 in development Star Wars movies are going to do to make them work. At this point, I don't even care if they work anymore. I just want them to actually go into production. That would be a win. Don't even tell me how they're going to work. Just tell me you can get cameras rolling. It's by George Edelman. George Edelman. Remember the name. Fantastic author. I've never read anything this person's written. All right, here we go. James Mangold has never shied away from challenges. From a Johnny Cash biopic to The Intense Girl Interrupted with Winona Ryder and Angelina Jolie, his career is full of varying choices like these. Hey, where's my indie? Why no indie reference? Oh, we're supposed to forget that. But his upcoming Star Wars movie might be one of the largest chunks of challenge he's ever bitten off. That is an awkward sentence, George. And that's saying something. Along with accomplished showrunner Beau Willimon, Mangold is set to take on Star Wars in a truly unique fashion with Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi, a story that takes place a very, very, very long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Stop.
Oh, no.
Showrunner. This is supposed to be a movie, isn't it?
You know, Lauren, you're gonna find a revelation here before we're even ready.
Okay.
Wait, no, hold on a second. He's an accomplished showrunner, but he's gonna do something with the movie. I don't know. We'll see. Hang on. Let's see what it says. All right. It's the fact that the film, not a show. It's a film. He's just got a showrunner with him. You might call him a film runner now. Accomplished film runner, Beau Willimon. It's the fact that it'll take place in a very, very, very distant past that appealed to Mangold, who only took this project on because he and Willimon would be able to tackle a time and place that was open for discovery in the franchise. To me, the really important aspects are the freedom to make something new, said Mangold in a recent interview with Movie Web, which, by the way, is where we are, yet it's still not the same article, but we're doing this one because it has more. Beau and I, in relation to Star Wars, have been working on a script, and we'll see what happens. Do we find a way on the page to say something original? All right. So here's what I'm interested in, Lauren. Take a look at this quote. You ready for this one? The Star Wars movie would be taking place 25,000 years before any Star Wars movies take place. It's an area and a playground that I've always wanted to explore and that I was inspired by as a teenager. And here's where we get interesting. I'm not that interested in being handcuffed by so much lore at this point that it's almost immovable and you can't please anybody. Lauren, here's what I'm worried about. James Mangold did not do so well with Lucasfilm when he made the indie movie. Now he wants to make a Dawn of the Jedi movie that would essentially set all of the canon for the rest of the franchise because it will be dealing with the very first Jedi and how it all started, how it all happened. He is making the genesis of the Jedi. So I don't think he's getting what he wants here. It seems like he wants an empty, just a totally open sandbox. And I think what that is it's a different franchise. Like, I don't think that's what he thinks it is. This is a Pandora's box they should really be careful about opening, especially after what happened to Indy. Lauren, is this possibly the most dangerous thing they could do following what they did with the sequel trilogy?
Yes, but the Dawn of the Jedi from the old EU was in this same time period. You're talking about 30,000 years before the movies. It was a very, very different take on the Jedi and what we knew about the Force from previous material. And so in that sense, it was a departure. And some people liked that, some people didn't. I did, actually, because I thought it was a really interesting new take, and I thought it was pretty good. What James is saying here, though, is he wants what every writer wants. He wants the cachet of being attached to a great big IP and project and everything that comes with that. But he doesn't want to have any constraints on what he personally wants to do. And that means that he has just made the one statement that will make him an enemy of mine. If you don't care about the lore, if you don't want to be constrained by it, stay out of our playground. You don't belong here. If you're not going to respect it, stay out. And if you're not going to treat it properly, we will definitely not buy a ticket, and you will continue to be embarrassed by the crashing box office returns that have been seen over the last couple of years. Pay it respect, do it the right way, understand that you're a guy who's here for work for hire work. You're not an auteur. That guy was George Lucas, and he left a few years ago.
Fathers with daughters out there, pay attention to what Lauren just said. You're going to need to use that with the future boyfriends trying to take them to prom. Treat the daughter with respect. Treat Star Wars with respect. Darn it, James. You don't get to take this franchise to the prom and not spend the time to figure out how to respect it. Nolan, I saw your eyebrows going up and down. You were really into that Lauren speech. What are you thinking right now?
Well, the stereotype, like shotgun dad, with the daughter. I'm picturing Lauren would probably come out, but be a freaking lightsaber or something like that. You stay away from my daughter.
Probably true. So Mangold is this kind of, he's a conundrum to me because he has made some really great movies. But then he made a stinker, a terrible film in Indy. And the whole way through making Indy, he made bad decisions and he made fans mad and he attacked fans who were right. He attacked the Salty Nerd Podcast guys, and Salty Nerd Podcast was exactly on the mark with what they said. They were vindicated fully. So I don't know, Jonas, do you think that Mangold is just, maybe he's been desecrated by Kathleen Kennedy's crazy crew? Or do you think that this is a guy who can come back and learn from his mistakes that he'll never admit that he made with Lucasfilm and put out a decent Star Wars movie?
You know what's funny is I see two things going on here with James Mangold. James Mangold got Dawn of the Jedi right before Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny hit theaters. That is a classic Disney strategy to try to say, well, this is so good, we want them to come out and do it again. That's something that they do almost every single time. They go ahead and talk about sequel buzz on a film, and well, what's the best way that you can talk about sequel buzz? You can say that we're going to do a sequel. Well, you're not going to do another Indiana Jones film because Harrison Ford is probably not interested in doing another Indiana Jones film until he runs out of money again or something like that. So the next best thing is for them to say, oh, in fact, it's so good, we're going to give him a Star Wars film. We want him to do what he did for Indiana Jones over here. It all seemed like marketing spin. And for something like this, I think that's good for a person to land on their feet somewhere else. And maybe the best way to do that is by hiding out at Lucasfilm. The funny thing about Mangold is it actually sounds like he is trying to do something at Lucasfilm this time. He's not a screenwriter that happens to have picked up the project and is being completely hush about it. Mangold is actually complaining about, well, the Indiana Jones debacle here. And I don't know what exactly he felt like was put upon him with the Indiana Jones stuff, but it sounds like he's a little bitter about how that entire thing went down. Now, as far as Star Wars goes, I don't know what respect to the lore they have there at Lucasfilm right now, based off of what we saw from the Acolyte. It seems more like it's an annoying thing that gets in the way of what they want to do. So they keep going farther and farther back into the canon before, so that it's very far removed from the Skywalkers. It seems like when they do something that has the Skywalkers in it, they want the Skywalkers to be disrespected. In fact, they would like someone who isn't a Skywalker to be a Skywalker. I think that they actually don't like Star Wars very much there at Lucasfilm. I think they are done with it. They want it to be complete so that they can move on and do something else. So maybe that's indicative of the people that he's working with, the people that have welcomed him in there at Lucasfilm. I really don't have a lot of respect for what they're doing. And the rumor that they hate Skeleton Crew, well, it's kind of funny because Skeleton Crew is probably the best thing they've done since Mando Season 2.
I, for one, would like to welcome James Mangold to completely rewrite everything to do with the history of the Jedi with Dawn of the Jedi, because that will give him something to do before the next Indiana Jones movie. And it gives Harrison Ford, frankly, time to make his next sequels. So we could get Air Force 1, 2. We could get The Fugitive.
Get off my plane again.
The Fugitive Refugitated. We could get American Graffitied Part 2.
Hollywood Homicide Part 2.
There you go. And then we'll come back to Indiana Jones and, the Dial of Dysentery or whatever we're going to do next. And that'll give and Harrison he can give his visual likeness the rights to his appearance for 15 Red Hulk movies. Everybody be happy. And then, James Mangold can do Star Wars, a full Dawn of the Jedi trilogy. Who knows? But that's where we are right now, folks. That's what Lucasfilm is up to. And I'll tell you what, Lauren, I'll give you the opportunity to button this one. Chances this gets made in light of all of the stuff we've heard that never, ever, ever gets made. Is it another Patty Jenkins, Lauren, or is this the very rare and elusive Unicorn Favreau film that actually goes into production?
I'm still of the opinion that everything is still in the blue sky phase and that they're making a lot of announcements so that they don't fade completely from discussion and possibly also try and push some of the negative stories out of the press. I don't think anything is really in ramped up production, and I'm not expecting to see anything except for The Mandalorian and Grogu on the big screen anytime soon.
I kind of think they're running out the clock. And I hesitate to say that because it gets old, and I know people get tired of hearing it. But my gosh, Kathleen Kennedy's 71 years old. Like, even if these movies go into production, she's never going to see them made. I'm not saying she's going to kick the bucket. I'm saying she won't be at Lucasfilm when these things come out. So I don't know. I think that if I'm Disney, I got a new CEO that we don't even know who it is that's got to be coming in next year, surely. And Kathleen can't really be there when these movies come out. So I'd be saying to her, Kathy, come up with whatever crazy stuff you want to come up with. We're not going to do it, but it'll make the investors happy, and we don't have the freak out in the retail space where they say, get rid of the Star Wars because none of this is real. So just run it out. That's what I think. Anyway, I could be wrong. Could be right. Hey, Lauren, we didn't get your take, though. A lot of people wanted a take from you on Knights of the Old Republic. Forbes is reporting that there's a Disney Plus show in development, Knights of the Old Republic adaptation. Your thoughts on that one? It's coming from Paul wannabe Scott Mendelson Tassi.
No, there's not.
All right. Well, then there's your response, folks.
I mean, honestly, that is, if they were really developing something like that, they may as well just stick their arm straight into a wood chipper. It's like they haven't proven that they can do anything with anything. This is the last unsullied part of Star Wars lore that they have. Unless they want to just self-delete in front of everybody, they better stay as far away from that as they can.
Oh my gosh. This is literally what my take was that this was the last thing they hadn't destroyed yet. Helping Hollywood produce a product that you want to consume. That's what we do each and every day, folks. And this time, it's time to, say goodbye. We know, but don't cry. No, for we will have more videos on the way. We love to bring those videos and that information. And by the way, if you'd like even more, consider going to the Patreon page. It's www.patreon.com/WDW It's where we put out stuff exclusively there that we simply can't put out in other places for whatever reason, be it because it's too spicy or because, well, perhaps we're working to corroborate it. But you can find out things early and first over there. Folks, we surely have had a great time spending time with you. Consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.